Hello friends and beautiful people. We are out in the shop today because it's a quiet place. We still have the kids living with us and it gets a little rowdy up in the house. So our weatherman used a 4-letter word and it's going to hit us this weekend, and you know what that means. It's time to get that wood burner fired up. So I thought I would do a video showing you some different uses for wood ash. I'll let you know which ones I've tried and which ones I've heard do well. And obviously the first one that comes to mind for everyone is using it in your garden. And there are plants that benefit from wood ash, and there are plants that should not get wood ash. You don't want to apply wood ash, and I'm looking at my list here so I don't forget to tell you anything, around your acid-loving plants. That's going to be your blueberries, raspberries, fruit trees, azaleas, strawberries, potatoes, rhododendrons, blackberries, and parsley. My hydrangeas love wood ash. Plants that benefit are going to be all of your lawn and garden that needs an optimal pH of 6 to 7. Wood ash raises your pH. So if you're doing a pH test on your soil and you need to raise that pH up a little, wood ash is going to be perfect for doing that. Low pH reduces the magnesium and calcium in your soil, which causes the blossom end rot. Some plants that do love wood ash, and I'm going to look at my list here, are your brassicas, which is your broccolis, your cauliflowers, artichokes, tomatillas, greens, asparagus, beans, beets, garlic, peas, pumpkins, and squash, tomatoes, and of course my hydrangeas. So some other uses of wood ash. We talked about raising the pH of your soil. It boosts your compost. So what it does, it boosts that nutrient-dense microbial environment that's in there and gets things going. It keeps bears out of your compost. I haven't tried that one. I haven't had any bears around here yet. We have had sightings. I think we had 7 sightings in our county last year. A lot of people do not know this, and we have tried this. So my mama has a 5-acre pond on one of her properties, and we were struggling with the algae. And we had gone up and bought some special fish, and we put in 2 pumps that actually aerate that soil or aerate that water. We put the wood ash on and it worked. We put it all around the edge, and we saw that it was working there, so we literally got in one of those little paddle boats and we're out there spreading wood ash all through her pond. So I do know that to be the case. You can use it to dust plants to prevent frost damage, and I never knew that, and I did try it last year. We had a crazy frost come in, I think it was May after Mother's Day, and it did work. Now I will tell you that I didn't use enough, and you have to be careful. Again, going back to our list of plants, we only want to use this on plants that are going to enjoy the benefits afterwards. You don't want to use it on something that it's going to be detrimental when you rinse it off after the frost damage or after the frost has passed. It stops snails and slugs if you put it on the ground around your cabbage. Again, you have to be careful. You're on a fine line there, because you don't want to do too much, and you want to check your pH. That's just a given. Anytime you're adding anything to your soil, make sure that your soil needs it first, and I can't stress that enough. My chickens love it for a dust bath. We have a little, it's basically on the inside, we made it out of 4x4s. It's just this little square that we put out in their chicken area, and we just throw wood chips or wood ash out there, and they love to get in there and dust. Now obviously, before you do any of these things, let me just stop right now and say, make sure this stuff is cooled off. The last thing you want to do is start a fire somewhere. If you're putting it on top of wood chips, or if you're putting it out for your chickens, you don't want to have fried chicken before it's even plucked. dust your livestock to deter pests. We did that with our goats, and we really didn't see any difference. We basically we tried it as like a fly treatment. It didn't do anything, but a lot of people say that it works for that. To deodorize your chicken coop, if you put it under your wood shavings, put chunks of charcoal in your livestock water to keep the algae from growing. That's going to go back to kind of the same thing that we had with the pond. Eliminate skunk smell on a dog. Now this we did try, and it worked. We had our golden retriever had gotten sprayed by a skunk, and we had done all these things and washed him up, and it just wasn't helping. So then someone told us about trying baking soda on his coat afterwards, but he couldn't have been bathed first. We used Dawn dish soap and vinegar and gave him a really good bath. Once he got dried, we put some of the it was weird because if he would get wet, like if he would go out in the dew to do his business and then come back in and he was a little bit wet, that smell would start to come back. So we would dust him a little bit with wood ash, and it seemed to help. Think about the deodorizers they used to sell. I don't know if they still do, that you sprinkle on your carpet and you vacuum it up and it helps with the smell. It was kind of that philosophy when we did it to our golden. Cleaning your fireplace glass. Oh my gosh, what a game changer. Our wood burner gets the black stuff on the glass, and what I do is I take you let the glass cool first. I take a paper towel and I get it wet and I dip it in the wood ash, and then I scratch back and forth across the glass, and it takes it all off. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen, and if you do it right, it doesn't even streak. And so if any of my kids are watching, yes, there is a time in my life when I can clean glass and not streak. Friends, on a side note, I can get stains out of anything. I can clean anything. Do not put a window in front of me. I streak it every time. I've tried all the tricks. It is just me. I have not been blessed with window cleaning skills. There, I've said it out loud and I've confessed. Making soap. This is something I have not tried. I am not comfortable with the making sure that you get the right concentrations on it. So we'll just leave that one there. I know there's a lot of great videos out there on how to do it. I have not tried it. And as long as I have lye available to me, I will use lye. Already, because wood ash makes lye. Use it like baking soda in the fridge. No, I haven't tried that one. Sprinkle in the corners of the garage, basement, attic, and pantry to repel mice, rats, and cockroaches. I haven't tried that one either. Right now we use the Osage orange balls. They have so many different names. The green fruit from that, we put those by all the doors to help repel spiders, and by golly, that's been working, because for whatever reason our house is the spideriest place in the world. We thought after we put in the new windows and we repainted and we did the remodeling that a lot of those spiders would go away. Nope. Use as a dry shampoo. You just you're supposed to just work it in, fluff it, and shake it out. I haven't tried that one. I've never used a regular dry shampoo either. Speed clotting in a wound. I haven't tried that one, but I could see where it would work. Dust yourself as a natural tick repellent. I haven't tried that, so we'll just take the chicken's word for it that it works. And as a fire extinguisher. Haven't tried that. I know my husband uses it to slow down the cooling process when he is blacksmithing. Grill cleaner, again, that's going to be the same thing that you're doing when you're cleaning the glass on your wood burner. You're just going to use that on there, and it does work. We've tried that one before. Another thing that we have done is we've actually sprinkled, we try to stay all organic, and we have sprinkled it on ice because we don't use salt. So we've sprinkled it on ice in the driveway and ice in our walkways. And at first we found that we just weren't using enough, but then after we started just really loading it on there, it did work. We had a crazy ice storm. I don't know if it was, I think it was last year, and the ice on, or we come out the back doors to the back patio, the ice was a couple inches thick, and I just loaded it. My husband was out working on the driveway, and I just loaded that area because he had almost fallen to go out to get to the tractor, and it, by golly, it just right now. If you put it on an anthill, supposedly it encourages ants to relocate. I have not tried that, and now I wish I would have seen this a few months ago, and or remembered this a few months ago. I've actually had this list put together for a long time because we had some ants out in the garden, and it was in an area that I could have used the wood ash and probably saved myself some grief because I had those red ants and they just got down on my gloves. And mini root cellar, you can bury your vegetables in it. You just don't let them touch the wood ash. And soak up spills in the garage, we've done that. Remove oil stains on asphalt, stone, and cement. And that's it. That's my uses for wood ash. If you have more and would like to drop them in the comments below, that would be great. I just thought these are, I guess another thing I should say, these are my opinions. These are not by any means advice. These are just things that I have researched over the years, made a list, compiled it, kept adding to it, and in no way am I giving you any kind of professional advice. So until next time, be blessed and be a blessing.